Hello, everyone. This is another Black Conservative. I'm Ryan Bolin. Thank you all for joining me. This article, short article that I'm about to read, will let you know right up front what I want to talk about. So after I read this article, I'm going to give you my commentary. So let's get right into this. And the article starts off, on Monday's broadcast of CNBC's Squawk Box, White House Council of Economic Advisors member Jared Bernstein said that he doesn't expect increased audits on the middle class due to increased IRS funding in the Inflation Reduction Act reconciliation bill, and vowed the newly expanded IRS won't be going after anyone making under $400,000, but said they aren't guaranteeing nobody who makes under $400,000 will be audited. I'm going to read one more part of it. Co-host Brian Sullivan asks, how much of this is going to be just IRS tax collection? They want to double the size of the IRS. I understand the industry has been shrunk, gutted in some people's words. And do you expect increased audits on the middle class? Of course, he responds. Bernstein responded, certainly not on the middle class. Remember, one of the lines in the sand, for all his flexibility, President Biden has all his flexibility. President Biden has always maintained that no one under $400,000 will pay one penny more in taxes. So line in the sand there. Look, in terms of closing the tax gap, that's what you're talking about here. Something like $80 billion for the IRS. This raises something like $200 billion over 10 years, and some people call that a conservative estimate. And remember, this is enforcing taxes owed. So this is a way to not just close tax loopholes, but to stave off tax evasion. In my strongly held view, defunding the IRS has been a long-term shadow tax cut for tax evaders. And this president will reverse that with this bill that now goes over to the House. That's all I'm going to read right there. I'm pretty sure you've all heard about this, these extra IRS audits or whatever, auditors or whatever. Look, I'm not no economist. I'm not going to even get into all of that. What I'm going to simply talk about is the fact that right off the bat, I don't believe one single word the president is saying, nor what this guy is saying here. They're going to come after the middle class. Why would they need so many of these auditors? I don't believe that one bit. Let me tell you what I believe. Whether Biden admits it or not, whether the Biden administration admits it or not, many of their policies are socialist oriented, which is when the government takes control of I won't say all, but most of the industries and the banks and the businesses, when the government takes them over. Not all of them, because when it takes over all of them, then it's communism. We haven't gotten there yet, but we certainly are to a large extent a socialist or becoming a socialist country. This is what this is. I believe the goal is and has been for many decades to completely marginalize and strip away the middle class so that there's only two classes: the super rich, the elite, and the poor. That's you and I. When politicians say to you, particularly liberal politicians and neocons or fake Republicans, say to you and I that we're not going to tax you, woo, 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 woo. We're going to tax the corporations. We're going to do this. They owe this. They owe that. Don't believe the hype. Wasn't it with didn't President Bush say the same thing when he was president? I think what was his second inauguration I think it was doing his second inaugurational address. He said the same thing. Read my lips. No new taxes. But we read his lips. But his lips didn't match what he actually did. Middle class got taxed. The middle class is going to constantly be taxed because the objective is to take away your rights, take away your freedom, take away those things that you own. That's what communism is about. That's what socialism is about. It's about stripping away that which you own, not by force, but by stealth. Okay? They're doing it by stealth. They will not try to do it by force like the communists did in communist China, communist Russia, and other communist countries where they came in by force. They will not do that in the West because people in the West ain't going to put up with that. They're going to rebel against that because they know, no, you're trying to make me do something by force, and they're not feeling that. So they do it through stealth. This is also known as Fabian socialism. Fabian socialism was a socialist society founded in the late 1800s in London, England. Some of the people that was a part of the Fabian socialism was Aldous Huxley, Bertrand Russell. What was that other name? That writer, I forget his name. H.G. Wells. They were members of the Fabian Socialist Society who believed in taking over a society and bringing socialism in a society through what they call permeation. You permeate the society progressively and you change the policies into socialist policies a little bit at a time. You change the belief systems of the people to get them to accept socialism and reject capitalism. That's what this is. Whether Biden administration wants to admit it or not, that's what they're doing. So when they tell you, no, you're not going to be, anyone making $400,000 or less, it's not going to be audited. That's a lie. I don't believe that. We'll see. We'll see. But they're coming after the middle class. They're coming after you and I. When politicians say, we're going to tax these rich people, we're going to tax rich people to make them get their fair share. When they say they want to tax the rich people, what they want you and I to believe is that they're talking about the multi-billionaires. Somehow they're going to tax them, which makes no sense because many of these multi-billionaires through their corporations that they have investments in finance their campaigns. So that's just a flip of words that they use to get at you and I to make you and I believe that they're going to tax these multinational corporations that are owned by the international banking families. That's what they want you and I to believe. But in reality, what they're going to do is they're going to tax the middle class. And that's what has been happening. Whether the middle class recognizes it or not. The value of your, how much money you make. I mean, come on, man. Cost of living constantly goes up, but your paycheck don't go up. So what do? The government says, okay, the cost of living goes up, which is actually a hidden tax. Cost of living goes up, right? What Karl Marx called graduated income tax. Cost of living goes up, right? In the meantime, liberal politicians put pressure on businesses to say, hey, you need to take care of the workers because the cost of living is going up, but you need to give them a workable living wage. So you penalize the businesses, you penalize them because the cost of living is going up. Bull crap. The purpose is to a little bit at a time strip away businesses and business owners of what they own, to discourage them, to make them feel, what's the point in having a business when I'm constantly being penalized for making money? They're doing it by stealth because we let these people into our government. We voted these fools in. But we better start paying attention to these socialist, Marxist, communist agendas. I don't care what people can say what they want to say in the comment box. I know what I'm talking. I may sound arrogant, but I'm only arrogant when I know what I'm talking about. Because not only have I been read up on this stuff, I see it all the time. I hear it all the time, and it's becoming more and more clear to me. We better start waking up in this country, man, or we will be a socialist country. Or we already are a socialist country to some degree, but we will end up being a communist country. Let me end on this note. What this man said here in defense of Biden, I don't believe it one bit. I don't believe it one bit. Not one bit. What do you guys think about this? You believe this guy's words? Do you believe that you're not going to, if you're in the middle class, if you're making less than $400,000 a year, which I'm going to assume most of you that's watching this video are making less than $400,000 a year. If you're making more, God bless you. You believe this guys, we're not going to be taxed? Leave your comments in the comment section below. If you believe that we are going to be taxed, leave your comments in the comment section below. Like, share, subscribe to this channel. God bless you all and see you again.